very much. We will pilot this to the victory in just about 10 minutes, and they look confident all the way through from when they were behind to when they were ahead. That means great things for Kingzone up against one of our best teams in Griffin here in Korea.
Absolutely, Valdez. Definitely, when the top side was so woefully far behind, I just plugged and played a game where Kingzone were never able to play a 5v5 team fight scenario, and that the pressure that you could have through Lissandra's roams, Jace's priority,
that push war, but can't do a decent job there. Karma going to be picked up once again for the side of Lehens.
Kingzone this game, they returned to the Oran, found them so much advantages in the mid to late game. Do notice they don't have the super high damage 2-threat comp they did in game number 1.
Coming into this.
And you think it's kind of a surreal thing to say, because Sandbox is likely to end higher than them, and yet the promoted team that we knew almost nothing about was already good at the start.
Got that confidence going. Speaking of which, the top lane we were looking for, the knock-up into the double knock-up, the knock back there from Jace, not nearly enough. They're going to see Tarzan coming in with that Tremor Sense, and
might happen. Reliable CC targeted with the Unburrow into Oran Horn there, beautifully done. And you can just hear there's no huge problem onto the Infernal Drake, the first spawn of the game, and with their priority against a Karma lane, they take it as, all right, what's happening here?
Well, Rascal was running down, and he kind of got caught out by Tarzan with the red buff. Flashes into that one. No flash on Rascal, as he used it earlier, is going to pay the price.
Off the late game extra items.
Spike goes the way of Tarzan as, okay, ult is not going to actually get down, but Rascal trying to force this one pawn. Coming on in with the TP, but they really were pushing this too hard. Here comes Chovy trying to get over the wall. Where is the angle of escape for Kingzone? It doesn't look like it exists. Ignite goes down on a Tarzan, but it's not gonna kill him. Doesn't look like here. Pawn under the turret, one more auto will do it. He's gonna go down, and Rascal as well. Everybody gets baited in by Cuz, and 3 people go down.
Cuz, baited by the priority topside, thought he could steal everything as Viper's falling. Even though they gave over those 3 kills to Griffin. They found quite a lot. Here we go.
Nice knockback to deny that one, but everybody's getting up in the top side 3-on-1. You can see Tarzan was thinking about getting up there.
In terms of these 2 champions that have been played so many times.
And the knockup comes in into the taunt. Yeah. There's no way you're going to be able to use your abilities even. So Kingzone once again, the hunters in this game patch another member.
But this is Chovy being in the wrong.
See that there's really no recourse when you have the Black Shield on him too. Black Shield wasn't up there as he used it before, but didn't really need it.
13-5. Plus 15 game score. That means that if SKT lose, things get tricky as mid lane.
Okay, get the knockup here onto Viper, and you can see immediate cleanse and flash. That was real clean from Viper to survive the taunt that did come out from Tucson. So, had that QSS ready, he was able to press the right buttons to make sure he stays alive.
Flash now down on Viper, traded for Tucson's flash. So a pick onto Tucson when he goes to try to clear wards. It's a possibility here. It's looking way more tricky. Previous time, Sword side lane pushing. Not often you see a Jace comp that hasn't been able to take down bot lane outer at 27 minutes, but finally.
One pick, and well, speaking of which, nice actually catch there by Chovy to make sure that Cuz could not get in range or make anything happen. I see you pointing at some Lucian items. Those look pretty nice, Papa.
So Lucian has a traditional 3-item carry build, could basically be a Sivir in this spot. We already talked about how that's different from expectation. Remember that with no engaged support, it's Karma to poke around as Tarzan tries to contest vision, and we already mentioned that's tricky for Griffin. They need to take a lot of risks to do so. The only person to dive Lucian and stop a short-range AD carry from doing damage is a Morgana. Black Shield stopping Lissandra. There's no one else to go backline. That means Lucian should be free-hitting. And speaking of free-hitting, they're onto this Baron. It's at 7,000.
Already at half, and now Griffin know about it, but Tarzan is in range, is going to be able to get in, but no! Spike the Orn goes the way of Kingzone. Now they're looking for the engage, and Viper goes down to the Orn Horn. See you later, he says, and in comes Cuz. gonna be able to assassinate Tarzan on the backside as 3 kills and maybe even more are gonna go the way of Kingzone after the Baron. The flash on in and the double kill to Cuz gives Kingzone 4 kills and the Baron.
Kingzone are styling and cementing themselves as the dark horse for the LCK Gauntlet and thus LCK Spring 2019. They're styling on Griffin at this point. There's no way really for Griffin to stop this Baron push. We talked about Griffin with Baron against Baron. It's a whole nother conundrum.
This isn't solo queue where your entire team types /FF at the same exact time. Even Pawn's got the upgraded Zhonya's now as all the stats are going their way. It's insane how ahead they are at this point in the game.
Have we all been caught napping? Me in game number 1, and now suddenly the LCK world at large as the rise of Kingzone Dragon X. We looked at the teams they'd beaten. Looking down the list of Damwon, Jinair, Genji, KT, and Afrika, and you were struck by who wasn't there. But this was a smart play. It looks like it's close, but there's a huge level lead, 3 levels onto the top laner. They almost stopped Darvin getting into the pit, but even when he gets there, there's 150 more smite damage, and they take it down. Suddenly, they're 8-1, and they have beaten Griffin along the way. That's a pretty big story for Kingzone, and one that will give them many fans. Previously Deft fans, now probably Kingzone fans. So much more confidence in the best of 5 phase.
Claps all around. And even double high fives to everybody. They got every combination going there. As Sword nearly goes down on the backside. As Rascal just in the replay was just saying, yeah, everybody's so good. You guys are great at this game. It's all fantastic feels, high morale on the side of Kingzone. It's all high confidence. These guys are on a massive roll and should be able to take this one 2-0. Only team they lost to in round 2 was actually SKT. And I remember that was a bit of a stomp. So it makes things even more interesting for if Kingzone does face off against SKT in a playoff. Could they make it past them and then maybe even get to Griffin? But we'll have to end this game first as the knockup goes down on a Tarzan. Both Death and Pawn do some insane damage at this point. Stopbox on the side of Rascal, but he's so tanky, he's not going to go down anyway.
Kingzone continue to push. 5 Drakes, Baron, everything is on the side. Tripping up for the 3rd time in 5 series. Total damage dealt. You will see that Lissandra has done nothing this game, has never got the roam, has been kept in lane by Morgana.
You know, Lissandra, if they lose, is going to be 0-4 for the day. That's not really what you would expect from a Lissandra. She usually gets at least 1 win. This knockup goes on to Lahens, but take a look at Toby on the backside. They are going to catch her going on in there. The knockup comes in and, oh, just barely is able to get that ultimate off. Isn't going to matter, though. So many stasis effects. Keep her alive, but the knockup there was perfect from Rascal, and now everybody's getting into the pit as Deft is full health, and it looks like this should be Kingzone pushing on for their victory 2-0 against Griffin.
And Valdez, it's not about Griffin, it's all about Kingzone. Kingzone have just smashed Griffin, and it didn't matter who was on the enemy team with a performance like this. They're looking for the close here. With enough members, they should be able to do it.
They just want more kills. They don't care about the Nexus. They'll take it out eventually, but going in for the dive even here is Steph thinking about it, just dancing around, even a celebration towards the end. 2-0, and it was quite clean from the side of Kingzone, who looked really fantastic going into playoffs.
Imagine explaining to someone 18 minutes into game number 1 who just paused the stream and left there and plugged and played another one of those 2-0s to Griffin, what happened this series from the moment onwards where they made that big mistake around the Drake that led to a Baron for Kingzone. Kingzone were a tier above. Another level is the nickname for Griffin, the team that looked so strong at the start of the season and for the majority of LCK Spring 2019. But here we are, 2 days before the end of the season, and we look at Kingzone and wonder, will this team be playing in the LCK Grand Final? With this victory, they have guaranteed themselves at least top 3. They are out of the wildcard match that will be set